Hi everybody, Mature Simmer here. So I'm going to go ahead today and I'm going to kind of give you a semi-short, because it's going to include gameplay of both of these, but I'm going to basically show you both of the mini games that are created by the same publisher, mainly because I've gone ahead and shared Mini Airways, which I think is a little bit more conducive to maybe some regular content on the channel that I can share, where I think Mini Metro and Mini Motors is a little bit different, but because there's been some interest in the Mini Airways series, I'm like, I'll at least share what these look like so that if you haven't come across these, this may be something you're looking at. So the icon down here, this is the publisher. I forget, it's like Dinosaur or something or other, but that's who builds it. And so I'm just going to go through and kind of show you, you can see it's pretty far down, but I'm basically trying to get 500 passengers is what you need to unlock anything. So to get Addis Ababa and Lagos done, we need to hit that. So the creation, or the way the game works, is it's all random. I mean, there's a map, but as far as what stations show up and when, this is not where you'll always see it. They were in a different configuration when I came in here before, and they're separate now. So I'm going to drag the end of the line. Now I've got these 4 stations. So basically these shapes are stations. The little things that appear next to them, think of those as passengers, and they're in essence telling you which station they want to go to. Just like any of these mini games, you've got pause, you've got regular speed, you've got high speed, and this is 1, 2, 3 on the keyboard. So now I can add that in the middle by simply dragging, and then basically once it goes ahead and does that, we're good. This gives me some information in this case, so I can have 3 different lines, which I will add some in a bit, but right now I'm going to have a line that's kind of likely on the island, and eventually I'm going to need things that go out. So you can see the map continues to kind of zoom out as it goes. What you're trying to do is you're trying to have shapes mixed up, because see, now the squares need to go. Now it grabbed them. Now it's grabbing the circle. Now it's going to drop off the triangle. It's going to grab the circle. I'm keeping this slow intentionally, and now it's going to drop all the circles off. It's going to grab all 3 passengers because it's the end of the line. If I go down here, now I've made it a circle. So now I've kind of closed off the line, and if I'm really keeping this on the land, so I'm going to put a second line in here, and that's literally all you need to do, is just not start or not move the existing line. And because I had a locomotive, I'm able to do that. Now these are carriages, which basically I can attach to the train, so you can see these will hold, I think typically they hold 6, but these may only hold 4. So they may be smaller. So here's a perfect example. Now I'm going across. You'll see I have 1 bridge left. I had 2 originally. So now I can bridge this piece. When I'm done and I get to Sunday, just like in Mini Airways, you always get a new locomotive, and then you get a choice. So this is pretty rare where you get 2 carriages at a time, but because of the way this seems to function, you're adding a lot of things. So I don't need another line because I have a 3rd one. I'm going to go ahead and add 2 carriages, and then we'll go forward. So now we're going to see, this is small enough. I'm going to let it go. Yeah, okay, so there's only 4. So I'm going to add another carriage. It's just that simple. You just drag it. You got to be careful when you're doing things nearby. Sometimes it doesn't quite work the way you want. And again, the goal is to get to 500. So I'm going to speed this up a little bit now that I've explained how it works, so that we don't make this incredibly long. And you'll see it's going to take 5 or 10 minutes to get to that point, assuming I don't fail on the way. The benefit, again, of mixing shapes, so that's what you're always hoping for. Okay, so I'm going to use a 3rd line here, and I'm going to go do that. You know what, actually, and then again, if you want to I'm going to grab this end, and then I can change that and say, hey, I want to go here. and then pull this out, and this is showing me that I'm skipping that station. But you can see those folks were hopping around because I was getting too late. There's only so many people that can be at the station, and then they run around and are like, hey, I'm full and I'm busy. I'm gonna grab a bridge because I think I'm gonna need that. Because if nothing else at this point, I'm gonna lock this one up, and you can only complete the loop by kind of going to the starting station. So like right now, I'm gonna complete this because it's always best rather than creating a really long line back and forth. If you can loop them, that's fine, but the challenge becomes if they get too far along. So like I'm gonna put a carriage on here because again we're having problems. I'm trying to figure out the best way to do this. So I think, see, so now I'm in danger of this being a problem. So I'm going to put this on there. We're going to put that on because there's only 2 lines that get to the square, but anybody that wants to get to a square off of the brown line has to do so at that junction. So you're always kind of playing the game of trying to not have things crash. I'm going to keep adding bridges. Because eventually I think they're going to become crucial. Alright, you know what? I am going to include this because that way the brown line has a square on it as well. Oh boy. So we're again running the risk of it crashing. So you can see I had only gotten to 274 last time before things blew up. So I tend to try to have trains going in the opposite direction. Oh boy. Alright, we're gonna go this way and this way. So the problem is the diamond is here, so at times it's gonna go ahead. Oh boy. I might be ending. So if this goes around and fills up. Okay, so we got lucky. Now if I can get this train back. But basically once the circle fills, it ends. Like the game ends then because you've got too much. So I am going to go ahead and put a 3rd car on that one. And hopefully it'll grab, alright, everything, which it did. And so you can see now it starts to empty out, but if that station fills again... Oh, so the problem here is I don't have anybody picking this up. You know, yeah, no, we'll leave that. We'll just have it be on the brown line. I think we'll be all right. Maybe. No, we won't be. So I'm gonna just save myself. I'm gonna add a 4th train, and then we might. It's a big might. You know what? I'm not. I don't want that. I'm gonna grab this. So there we go. We made it. So done what I needed to do. So at this point, I'm gonna leave this. That was really my target. But that gives you an example of mini metro. You're basically building a subway, and you're doing it as efficiently and quickly as you can. And again, the benefit is, you know, because the challenge is, like, now that I have some time and I've stopped, like, the issue is, let's say they're picking up a square. They're going this way, and they pick up some squares. Well, the first time I have a squares, I either need to drop them on another line or I need to put them there. But as it goes through here, it may be picking up more people, but it's not dropping anybody off. But the challenge is, from a timing standpoint, you can see they stop, they wait a while at each station. If this station is full, that's how you time out and you get over capacity. And so you run into a problem So alternating symbols like this, where we have a triangle, because for example, like this plus, like that just got added. Like we don't even have it on the line yet. So I had missed that. And again, like I can do this and pause. So it depends how you want to play. Like you could do the argument of, hey, I want to keep it in real time. But the benefit here is like, all the pluses would get dropped off, and then, if it has a diamond, it has to wait until there. Like I'm actually at a point now, but let's see, the star, they're all on the brown line. So, but sometimes you're creating a situation where you've got 4 or 5 lines dropping things to some unique symbol, like this one, for example, that just changed and appeared. The teal line and the brown line are going to want to get onto the pink line, and so everybody that goes there is going to get dropped at this station from those other 2 lines, and then suddenly you can go from, oh, I just have 2 circles, where again I've got tons of circle stations, to I'm overflowed and the game blows up on me because you have, 8 pentagons that show up, and suddenly you've overloaded the station instantly because the pink train isn't there or can't take them, because the other problem ends up being, like, let's say this train is going this way. Let's say it's full of squares when it gets up here. Like, it's just going to go past this and it won't pick up the pentagons, and now they never get picked up. So that's also why I have trains going in the opposite direction, is kind of the strategy I tend to use, because it seems to work better, because that way you've got a different sequence. And so that's the thing, like if there's pentagons waiting here, a train going in this direction is likely going to leave them there, especially, and I don't know if it's smart enough to know there's a train in the opposite direction, but it will leave them, and then you can't, and then they overflow. So hopefully that gives you an example of, what mini Metro looks like. So Dinosaur Polo Club, there you go. And so now this is their newer mini game, which is Mini Motorways. All right, and so now what I'm going to do is, again, I need Manila, and basically I'm kind of at the point where I'm just unlocking one at a time. So to unlock Rio, I need to get 400 trips in Manila. Let's see if we can do it. So similar concept to mini Metro, Mini Motorways will go ahead and use vehicles and build a town. And so basically, think of these as stores or factories or whatever, and these are the residences where people live. They're, in essence, garages. So vehicles come, this is saying I need a vehicle, and then the demand is filled by someone from the house coming. This does exactly the same concept. So we've got a river. If I'm down here, I've got 2 bridges, I've got 14 road tiles. So a different setup, but similar again. I can go at single speed, double speed, and we'll get different color residences and buildings. We also have motorways, which are highways that we can do, and then we can have traffic lights, but similar type of thing when it gets to Sunday at midnight. So if you watch that clock up top, like now it's Thursday morning, it's basically 6 a.m., when it hits and goes to daylight, and now it's going to get to 6 p.m. So here's an example. See, and the yellow was close enough to the roadway that it connected, but I need a bridge, so now I've used one of my bridges, but if I don't connect that, I can't meet this demand. So now Friday morning. And you may have noticed, and I guess this isn't an example, but like you can click and draw and basically rotate it a different direction. So I did that with this house, I think. I don't know, one of these it ended up spawning and then I pulled it out. So, Saturday, we got to get to Sunday, and then we'll get choices. Now, we won't have a locomotive that shows up, because again, the cars just exist. And you'll notice, like, if I click on any of these, like, the map hasn't expanded. The grid has stayed the same right now. And I think, again, that can be changed and so forth as we get to different things, but here we go. So I can have 2 traffic lights and I'll get 2 road tiles, or I can get a roundabout and road tiles. So traffic lights, basically, like, if you've got a busy intersection, they do what they do, where if I've got a long line of cars, like, the light will stay green for a while and maybe 3-4 cars will go through before they go through. Otherwise, they're just playing like a stop sign but without stop signs. They're just jamming up the corner, and a roundabout obviously does the thing. I honestly, I'm torn. I think I'm going to go with a roundabout. I don't know why. I'm going to regret it. Alright. So, I don't want to use any more bridges. Now, these you can't rotate. So you'll notice, like, I can't, you know, come out of there, so the entrance stays the same. So now this is an example. The house is facing the wrong way. I'll use more road tiles if I do that. So if I just click on the house and go up, I just connect. Like, I rotate the house around. I can do that with the homes. I can't do that with these. Alright, so we're still in that same grid, which is interesting. So we're going to speed it up for a bit. We'll see how things work. And you're basically, again, trying to keep track of what pops up. You know, but as opposed to stations, you're going to suddenly get homes and businesses. And it's mainly the homes that, as this continues along, it gets a little crazy. Again, I haven't tried this one. You saw it was 0. See, so now this is always challenging. Now you can do that. So you can go, you know, in there, but you're trying to avoid a ton of things, because what they're going to start doing is they're going to start jamming up. Like you can see, these reds are slowing down. See, so now I got to figure out, I knocked the tree over. That's what that sound was. I think it just tracks that. It's like one of the achievements of, like, you destroyed X number of trees. You know, but the challenge is, like, now these red houses to serve this need, so you can see I'm getting like 2. And this is where traffic lights are going to get interesting, so let's see what we get. I'm going to get traffic lights just so I have them in case I want them. See, my challenge is I don't know the map, because I've not seen the map. So is there a lot of land? Is there going to be, like, see, it looks like the river is coming up here. I'm trying to figure out if I want to put a roundabout there, is what I'm thinking about right now. See, so now I'm going to slow this down, because now this is getting confusing. What's my best way? Okay, I'm going to go up here. So the other benefit of using more road tiles, now if we go out, you can see now instead of being bordered here, it has expanded a bit. So those are all the places it can go in. And if you click on something else, you can remove it. So, like, you know, if I do that, like, I right-clicked and now that road is gone. Obviously the car will finish, but and I, you know, see this one, I missed that it appeared. So now we're going to go up here. But the more roads you place, and see, he's letting me know, like, hey, you never connected me. Or actually, I disconnected him unintentionally is what happened. See, but I can't, like, I can build that road, but that's not what I want to do. I can't go into these walls here is the problem. But I have one bridge. I'm going to do that, and I'm going to go around here, because at this point I need a bit of options. Good news is we're getting close to the next week. Again, we need 400. We're not anywhere near what we need. Okay, so now what has happened here, this business is now more demanding. So when it goes from being a square to a circle, like, it has a little more capacity, but it's also going to ask for more. See, and that house appeared, but it was close enough to the road. It just auto-connected. So that's the benefit. All right, I need more. I'm going to go with more road tiles, because I haven't even used my roundabout. But see, there's something up there. Now this guy, again, I want to turn him around. And it's, but you can see, like, now we're getting traffic jams here. So this is starting to get congested, but I don't have enough room for a roundabout here. So my best case is going to be a traffic signal. And again, you can place things and move them. So I'm going to do that and see, like right now, because no one's waiting, like that'll just be green and everyone will just go through it. So it moves a little faster. But like now, see, it let 2 cars out right away, where otherwise they would have been fighting with each other to try to exit. So I'm always looking, like, how big is the grid getting? So it looks like it's getting bigger here. I just don't know if a roundabout there makes sense. It doesn't seem to. Now, and we can have more colors. I've seen green. I think I've seen pink, purple. So don't feel like, ooh, this is it. Well, there you go. Now we have dark blue or whatever. I didn't mean to do that. And this is why we want more road tiles. See, but I have no more bridges. So I almost have no choice here but to connect him that way. And he's blinking because he's like, hey, my people. But now this is a perfect example. If I get a motorway, I want one. And it'll make more sense in a little bit here. So, again, I'm trying to use as few road tiles as I can. So I'm always careful when the houses appear what we're doing, but we're only at 136. Alright, so the good news is, like, these guys will at least, like, come, the demand will come from there. Alright, here we come. Oh. Alright, maybe we don't get any motorways on this one. So basically a highway I could stretch across and over, and the benefit would be, now I'm gonna do this just because I want things that pop in to just connect to the roads. So basically, if the buildings pop in anywhere, they should connect to something. And then I don't have to pay it, but you can see we're getting demand up. And similar to the stations, like once these buildings fill, we'll start to see impatience of, hey, people aren't getting here. Oh boy. Well, I do have another bridge. So maybe what I'll do is this. I don't know that I really want that. Alright, we're going to move this and this. And then, oh boy, that happens if you move a little bit. But again, you just right-click and everything goes away. But that way we've kind of created a loop. Do I have any buildings that showed up that I'm missing? No. Alright, so you're always checking that. But I'm not liking these. And so a building can spawn here, and you basically have kind of more stuff going on. Alright, gonna get him there. See, the challenge is, like, all the reds are over here. Like, a motorway from one side of town to the other would be perfect right now. So I hope it gives me that option soon. Because that would stink if they weren't there. Because first off, I'd like to show you motorways. There we go. Alright. So we're going to slow ourselves back down. But now the real question becomes, like, where do I want to go? And again, I can move this. Oh boy. Alright, well, let me get these connected, because otherwise what happens is we have a problem really, really fast. There's just not enough over here. But I think there will be. And once again, we can move a motorway, so you need to drag this, so I'm like clicking it. So I'm going to put this over here, and then I drag the sign and basically say I'm going over here, and so that will allow things to come over, and they can just cross town faster. Oh boy. So yeah, this is just creating a mess. I just want to get to 400. My problem is, there we go. Okay, because I'm like, there's nothing there. That house is connected. I'm not quite sure why I had that. And what ends up happening at this point is you start to have buildings that show up that you don't realize have showed up. See, but the benefit here, like this is working out nicely. I think I can put... No, it won't let me put a traffic circle there, or a signal there. But the benefit should be, oh boy, that, see, now I'm out of road tiles. So this is also bad. See, this, so what I may want to do, that's not what I wanted. I may want to take this out. Now I'm trying to figure out how I break the motorway. Alright. So I want to put, I'm going to put the motorway in the center. Okay. And then I'm going to go here. Alright, so we've got cars waiting. And then, didn't I grab another motorway? What did I do? Oh, I see. So I think, which one's disconnected? Oh boy. I have created a real problem here. Alright. I might not make it at the rate that this is going. Oh my gosh. Alright. Alright, so I don't need that and that. Oh, but I have... That is not connected. So now you can see we've got... Alright. So now I don't have any motorways. So I want this one here, and I want it to go over there. And then I'm going to take this one, and I'm going to bring it over that way. We're going to get that one down. At this point, I'm just desperately trying to get to 400, which will be okay. So we're going to get there. I'm going to put a traffic light here. Alright, but, and at this point, we'll just kind of let you see what it starts to look like when things start overflowing. And see, the benefit is we've got these 3 red businesses over here, and all those red cars can, can get over. See, I can't quite connect him. Alright, so now that one popped in to there. We're getting to Sunday, we'll be able to get that house connected. See, all of these are too far away. So this is where we start getting into problems. So I need more road tiles. So I need him connected there. And then him there. Him there. Do I have everything connected? No, I don't have him. So if I take him up there... I really... Okay, can I do a roundabout here? I can. Cool. So I'll let that kind of play out. And again, once all the cars get through, because right now they're still going to fight the way they were. I'm just surprised. This is actually doing better than I thought with how things were falling apart at like 300. But getting those couple motorways has helped. Because again, like if I need to get to yellow, I don't understand. Was there nothing there? Alright, so we get some road tiles back. Alright, I heard something. Alright, I'm just... Okay, so now you can see. So I'll pause now. That gets me far enough. But this is what you've got. Where now, when this fills up, at that point, I'm not getting vehicles where I need fast enough, and that will end the session. So both of these, you're basically, that's what you're trying to do with these minis, is you're going through and you're working that out. And so if I go back to the main menu here, and now, now I've got Rio unlocked. So there you go. I was waiting for it. I'm like, wait a minute. And it gets more and more complicated. Now, unlike many airways, I don't think there is a way to create maps in these. So I do think that's a difference with Mini Airways from Mini Motorways and Mini Metro. Mini Metro's the older one. Mini Motorways is a new one that they just introduced in the last few weeks, I think, maybe last few months. But these two are by the same producer, and so people were asking Mini Airways, like, hey, are you the same company? They're not. But as you can see, the concept's simple and it works, so like, why reinvent the wheel? So Airways is doing something similar. It's just the difference is here you're building more permanent tracks. I mean, again, I can back things up and so forth. So again, these aren't meant to be tutorials of how you play these. They showed you a little bit, but just wanted to give you this half hour or so of, hey, here are the other two mini games. If you guys want to see more of it, you just want to see gameplay and you want me to throw it out, let me know. I'll be happy to toss things out there and record some here and there. But these are things I do when it's like, hey, I don't have enough time to fly a plane, I don't have enough time to do something, but I want to do something. So these have been really, really enjoyable because it allows you to get in, and as you saw, I got 2 different sessions done, and and I didn't die in either one. Like, I could have kept going for a while, which I normally would do, but I didn't want to turn it into who knows how long of an episode. It's fun stuff to fill some time if you've got it, and it just works your brain and keeps you moving along, trying to figure out the best way to do it. And because these are fully random, similar to how Mini Airways is as well, the replayability is massive. Like, even though I've done a map, like, everything's going to spawn differently the next time I'm in, so you're always trying. And there's high scores that they track. And both Mini Motorways and Mini Metro, they have daily contests as well. So it'll be on a certain map, and you're basically competing against other players and for the top score. So Mini Airways does not offer that, so that's a differentiator as well. If you want to take a look at these, hopefully that gives you enough. And if you've enjoyed this but haven't dropped a like, please consider that. If you are not a subscriber to the channel yet, please consider that, and I will see you next time.